Now coming up on BBC News, Our World, and with exclusive behind-the-scenes access, Rupert Jha reports on one of the most lavish Indian weddings since independence.
Today is going to be the most memorable day for the people of Rajkot, a former princely state in Gujarat. They are going to witness the grandest ever royal wedding procession in post-independent India. I have been invited to be part of the wedding, which starts with the procession today and is going to go on for a week.
It definitely is a huge gathering. We're seeing practically the top-notch of Indian royalty.
There are going to be convoy of vintage cars and camels and horses.
I wouldn't call it a symbol of wealth or a symbol of power. It's a symbol of great tradition. We want a society that is egalitarian, but we also want to respect tradition.
There are going to be 5,000 in the procession. It's going to be really grand show. It's interesting to see how former kings deal with the changed circumstances and relate with the people who they don't rule anymore, and how the people of India are now relating to their former kings. This is my first ever entry into a palace where former kings live with their families. I'm quite interested to see the inside, what's going on there. This is so pretty. I've never ever seen such decorated animal. My God, look at this. This is real royal show, I must say. Everybody has come out with their best attire. So it's all set now. The procession is going to start any time, and I'm told it's 2 kilometers long, and it certainly looks like, you know, look at the number of carriages it has. And all these are part of the royal palace. All these carriages, they stay here. They've got these horses from a different city, and these camels, beautiful ones.
Preparations for the procession are taking place in the spacious grounds of the 100-room Ranjit Vilas Palace. Built in 1870, it's the home of the groom, Prince Jadeja and his family. He's the Crown Prince of Rajkot, a city of 1.3 million people, which was once the capital of the princely state of Saurashtra in Gujarat. 23-year-old Prince Jaideep is about to marry a princess, and that's why this is such a huge affair. In keeping with Indian tradition, his parents arranged his marriage, and the couple have only met briefly.
The main reason why people like us marry in royal families only, because for normal people, for other people, it is very difficult to cope up with the culture and the people and the restrictions they have in the house. I met her probably one and a half years back in July. She's very pretty. She's very pretty.
Before independence in 1947, this was one of 565 royal seats of power which ruled India under the British. But the newly democratic republic declared the Maharajas commoners and made them pay heavy taxes. India's economic growth over the last 20 years has enabled enterprising royals to re-establish their wealth. Amongst them, the Jadeja family. The wedding's rituals and ceremonies are modeled on the glory days of the Maharajas, and the groom's mother is ensuring things go according to plan.
I have photographs running down to 5 generations where the ceremonies are the same. Since 1800 or something, when photography started, I have photographs of the rituals happening in the same way. I think all royal families have it, because in terms of rituals and custom, when it comes to that, everybody follows it, because then only it makes the whole wedding.
When I see 2 families coming closer, and that's happening because of me, I take great pride. And not only families, but great histories also come closer. And the functions, sometimes they do get a little tiring, but I see people excited, people want to meet, I see my family members so excited, so that's a good pep up for me.
The week-long celebrations means Prince Jaideep has lots of sartorial decisions to make.
The special thing about this is that this has been done in Jaipur. All of this which you see is silver, and the gold thing is all gold. The groom has to shine.
It weighs 5 kilograms and costs $10,000 to make.
Real gold and real silver work, and it's very heavy. This is what I'm going to wear in the procession. I wanted the Rajkot coat of arms for people to see and relate and recognize, because I've spent most of the time not in Rajkot, because I was in Switzerland for 3 years. So I missed a lot of functions in the middle, and people don't recognize me so much. It's always through my father which people meet me, because I've never been here so much. And this is probably one of the first times when I'll be in direct contact with the people.
Prince Jaideep was studying hotel management in Switzerland when his parents decided it was time for him to come home to India to get married. Once wed, he'll manage his family's heritage hotels. As well as the hospitality business, the groom's entrepreneurial father has expanded his family's investments to include hydro dams, biofuels, and agriculture. Huge weddings make huge statements. And one of the messages this royal family is keen to send to its former subjects is that the young prince may have studied abroad, but he's now back for good, ready to embrace his family's business and traditions. One such custom is that the groom is carried wherever he goes.
It is said that whenever there's a procession, the groom is not supposed to walk. He has to be on a vehicle or an animal. I'll be sitting on the elephant with the full regalia, and it'll be for the first time in my life that I'll be on an elephant.
Finally in position, the groom is ready to meet his public. He'll have to remain in the silver throne for 4 hours as the procession around Rajkot will stretch for 8 kilometers.
Possible nook and corner, and all the rooftops are full. They are jostling to get a glimpse of the prince who is there coming out to greet them and to meet them. This is his moment to introduce himself to the state which his family ruled once upon a time. So this is a moment of celebration and moment of excitement for everybody over here.
There are 5,000 men walking in the procession, including 30 princes, led by the groom's father.
How do you relate with the people who your family must have ruled once upon a time? How do you relate? What is your relationship with them?
The well-being and the happiness of the citizens is the prime objective of the ruler. And in order to maintain, in order to connect with the people, in order that we having been born in this house, it is our prerogative and it is our obligation to discharge and the Uttarayittva that we have, that we should serve the people of Rajkot in one way or the other.
Okay, and oh my God! This is amazing!
One of the ways in which the royal family served people recently was through charitable acts. In the week leading up to the procession, they helped feed 17,000 needy people and visited orphanages and hospitals.
In the Hindu religion, there are 3 things which are considered to be auspicious. One is the service through body, that you help people. The second thing is that you distribute food, and the third thing is that you give donation of money. As we are having a wedding in the family, distribution of food is going to be, the more we do it, the more we will feel blessed.
With the procession underway, I wondered what people thought about the royal family.
पुरानी, लेकिन आपको ये मन नहीं करता है कि वो राजशाही फिर से आ जाए वापस? वो ऐसा मन करता है। मन करता है? लोकशाही अच्छी है ना, राजशाही। Okay, लोकशाही. Okay, so there is a nice group which thinks that it's great to see this tradition. It's a part of the rich tradition of India, so they really enjoy it. Someone feels that yes, it's good to have the kings back. It will be good to have that king's rule back. And the old lady here, she feels no, it's good to be to have democracy in this country. So she's very happy to look at them and enjoy the glamour. That's about it. And you wish that he would have married a commoner, not a princess? No, it's okay. It's okay?
but he will be not common. I like common people.
You like common people. क्या अच्छा क्या लगा उसमें?
देखिए ऐसा लगा कि जन्नत देखी है.
Oh! Now she thought that the bridegroom is so handsome that she felt as if she was in heaven. It's been quite an experience to see so many people, and the kind of reverence that they show to the royalty still today is quite interesting actually.
Many people do show deference to the royal family because they are still part of a rarefied, wealthy upper class, and their status doesn't appear to be about to change. The Jadejas wield more than just ceremonial power. Following independence, like many royals who embarked on political careers, the groom's grandfather, His Royal Highness Manohar Singh Jadeja, became a minister in the Gujarat state government. He's the last in the procession. Sitting alongside him is none other than the grandson of the man who led India to independence, Mahatma Gandhi.
The relationship between Gandhi and Rajkot is a very old one. With my grandfather Gandhi, his father was like the first minister of the Raja. His grandfather was, his great-grandfather was. So for generations, the Gandhi family served the rulers here as their first ministers. And in Gandhi's relationship with these rulers, there was both struggle and friendship and warmth.
But how do you, coming from Gandhi family, actually relate with something like this, in the sense which is obviously a symbol of wealth and power? It's not part of the modern India.
Well, it's a symbol of tradition.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't call it a symbol of wealth or a symbol of power. It's a symbol of great tradition. And I welcome that symbol. Doesn't mean that there are no problems. We want a society that is egalitarian, but we also want to respect tradition. They represent some kind of pre-British governance. There were many aspects that were not as good as they might have been, but that is part of our history, and we must always fight against whatever we feel is really wrong, but we don't have to tear down everything. Nor need we be negative about people merely because they are descended in, quote-unquote, the wrong class.
As darkness fell, I met up with the groom's sister to ask why her family was so keen on a traditional arranged marriage for her brother.
You know, my parents, frankly speaking, they were really tensed with him, thinking that, oh, what if he gets someone from abroad, or what if he doesn't, what if the daughter-in-law doesn't adjust? So it was a big relief for all of them, especially the elders, all my aunts, that he's getting married to a Rajput girl, you know, the same blood, the same community, who'll understand why we do things, our customs and everything. These families are generational families. And you know, if you don't follow these rituals, these customs, these traditions, then after a certain point of time, they face extinction.
The procession is finally coming to an end after an 8-kilometer long walk. I'm tired, but I don't think people are. They have been hanging around. As you can see, it's been a party, day-long party, and it's not going to end here. The whole wedding ceremony is going to go on for next 7 days. So a lot more to come.
The royal wedding party has left rural Rajkot and travelled 12,000 kilometers across the country to the cosmopolitan city where the bride has lived. I have come too.
So we're here in the southern city of Bangalore. Tonight is the wedding night. More than 600 guests have been flown into the city to be part of the wedding. Certainly, it's going to be a royal affair.
A few hours before the ceremony, I caught up with the prince, who explained how he reconciles his business interests with his royal status. It seems business acumen is vital to the success of royals today.
I would say that business is nothing but common sense. The princes, the royal families, once they handed over the states to the Union of India, it is their prime responsibility to see that they start something commercially whereby there is a regular flow of income to the princes, so that their duties are not that of the common man. their duties are also to see that the art, they have always been the patrons of heritage art and culture. So they must have a regular source of income, not only for their livelihood, but also to maintain the connectivity with the people and to help the people in any form that they need the help. And it is time that we adapt our old customs and practices to make India a better place.
Yeah. Clearly, you are a very smart mind in that sense that, you know, you've really brought back things and you're happy with your reinvented image of being a smart businessman?
I am happy with my image.
Finally, the wedding itself. The venue is a spectacular palace in Bangalore, which, with its directed parapets and fortified towers, is modelled on England's Windsor Castle.
Well, the guests have started pouring in. You can see all the beautiful ladies. They are dazzling me with their beautiful chiffon saris and jewelry, of course. And it's real royalty, you know, on display. You can see the beautiful safas, as we call in Hindi, you know, the turban that they wear. It's very typically of royalty. In all the functions, they have to wear this. The men will wear this.
In the 1920s, India's Maharajas were the celebrated jeweler Cartier's biggest clients. They trusted him to reset their finest gems in keeping with the fashions of the day.
We are still waiting for the bride in a very typical bride fashion. She's late. She's running quite late, but we hope to see her soon. Hey, congratulations. Can we see your face? My God, I am just... How does it feel now, finally the D-Day is here?
A little nervous, a little anxious.
You're anxious?
And I think we're very tired also.
Yeah.
We're waiting for it to be all over now.
Do you think it might be a bit difficult for the kind of lifestyle you had here of a regular city girl?
I don't think so. It won't be because the city life is different.
Yeah.
But the way we live every day is very similar to, I mean, it's a family thing, so we know.
Okay, so you want, I mean, you know, going by, you know, you've done your masters, you're living in Bangalore. You're not those typical princes that we hear of, you know, living in big castles. You know, how do you look at all that you are walking into, the legacy of royalty, etc.? How do you look at it?
You feel blessed that you're part of such a legacy, and with a lot of responsibility as well that comes with it. It just feels good.
And have you met Jaydeep?
I have.
A couple of times?
A couple of times, yes.
What was your first impression? Quite good.
We didn't speak much, but I think it was just, I think we both made a good first impression and we both liked each other. So, and our families liked each other a lot, so we went
and he said that, you know, he loves dogs, and your father was saying that was the first criteria.
That was the only criteria I had.
Would you have considered going for a commoner anyway, like a common girl?
No, I've always left everything to my parents. So whatever they decide.
Yeah.
They made the right decision so far, so I think they have the right to make this one as well.
The groom's party are making their way in the Bharat procession, the final ritual where the wedding can start, where the 500 male guests from the groom's side meet the male guests from the bride's side. It's coming together of two royal families involving around 100 royal princes and represents a formidable political and economic alliance. The groom receives a garland from the bride's father, marking the end of the procession and the start of the wedding ceremony. Prince Jadeja then receives blessings from the bride's mother. Taking his place on the ceremonial stage, the groom waits for his bride to join him. In keeping with tradition, the bride didn't choose her own dress. It was made and delivered to her by the groom's family and is worth a small fortune. The royal couple now have a 4-hour ceremony, performing a series of rituals to cement their union. Meanwhile, many of the princes are enjoying a sumptuous feast next door and catching up with royal relatives.
Royalty is still important, and I think we preserve the vibrance and the exotic side of India. That exoticism is very important in preserving the image of the East as a spiritual and cultural hub.
Would you ever thought of marrying someone who doesn't come from the royal fraternity?
No, in my case, that wouldn't be possible. I mean, I want to follow tradition, and an arranged marriage was what I knew I was going to be walking into. And it isn't as strict as it is portrayed. I was given an option, and I was the one who said yes.
And what is it? It's diamond that you're wearing here? Or?
Yes, that is a...
That's a diamond thing, okay. And what is it? This is diamond and gold?
This is our Mysore crest.
These are also diamond buttons?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. You're worth quite a lot.
It's really nice to be here in Bangalore, seeing all the finery. We only now dress up for weddings.
And how many kings and princes you have spotted? Is it really a huge gathering?
Yes, it definitely is a huge gathering. We're seeing practically the top notch of Indian royalty, including Jodhpur His Highness and Udaipur, and a lot of other royalty here also. So it's all on relations basically.
As the bride bids her emotional farewell, she leaves Bangalore to make a new home with her husband in Rajkot.
Bride and the bridegroom are off. It's been one great wedding where so many royal princes and princesses have been around here, and for me it's been a great experience indeed.
It's been really interesting to see how these former rulers have adapted to life in modern democratic India, becoming successful business people, but also managing to retain some of their glamour and popularity.